State regulations for real estate and urban infrastructure by state governments, by central government, as well as local bodies have been affecting the industry all through its life, all through several years. And the recent reforms that have been brought about by local bodies regarding waste management has been an important issue, where the developers as well as the architects have to do a lot of unlearning too. Today, we have a very special guest, Shah of Green Practices, who is based in Mumbai and is involved in waste management products and services. Thank you so much, Ms. Shah, for being with us. Let me start in the beginning itself to ask you about how different have things been in the last few years. You know, an overview of how real estate have been in the last few years, according to you. How has the market developed, and how have green products become so popular?
So now, as climate change has become such an important issue, in fact, living in Mumbai, we Mumbaikars know, a lot of people know now, or the new generation, the younger generation, that Mumbai city itself is at risk for sea level rise in the coming years.
Correct.
If you see waste management, we as a city generate 7,500 tons of waste every day. And also, when we are looking for property, we are looking at maintenance costs, we are looking at our social responsibility, we are looking at how we can. So for me personally, I'm on the lookout for a house. So what will determine what are the things, and someone tells me these are the maintenance costs of a green building, or these are the maintenance costs of a non-green building, I would definitely go for lower maintenance costs for a green building. So it would be a big selling point for me.
I see. You know, recently there was this conference by the Mumbai Fire Department, and they said, you know, it's very strange that home buyers look for all kinds of amenities, but they forget some very important aspects of living, which can be a life and death issue, like fire, and also very important issues like waste management. How it is going to be done, where is it going to be done? You know, there have been, I guess, you know, real estate projects which have been given approval, which have neither any waste management systems in place, nor even sewage disposal system, nor with the water supply.
Yes.
You know, still occupation certificates have been given by the PMC. Now, it's a very complicated situation, no doubt in that. Now, my obvious question next would be about how things have been in, if you can give us a brief of all the products that you have in relation to waste management, especially to do with large real estate and urban infrastructure projects like airports, ports, all those kinds of projects.
Sure. So now BMC has kind of the government has made it mandatory to have waste management in place. You won't get your OC without that either. So what we do is we offer different kinds of waste management, where we take on the contract with the machine, we take on manpower, you know, we also do pickup for societies where people are already constructed. So older buildings, we pick up the waste and we make manure at our premises. We also do biogas. There are a lot of possibilities for waste management. But what is really important is that you do it. That as a homeowner, you ask for it, and as a builder, you make sure that the facilities for waste management are the solution of mixing your waste and throwing it into a landfill. Mumbai has 3 landfills. All 3 are full. Devnar had a fire last year, 7 days. We could not put out the fire for 7 days. Why? Because the methane gas levels are more than 55%. So mixing your waste, and BMC just takes it from your house and throws it into the landfill. But around the world, landfills are responsible for 25% of greenhouse gases. Now most people are now becoming aware of the harmful effects of landfills. So people want waste management. Governments are insisting on it. So you have to do it. So there are many ways to do it, and the best, you know, you pay for electricity, you pay for your telephone, your mobile, you have to pay for your waste to be you know, disposed of safely, which won't harm the planet anymore. My house is worth say 6 crores today. Now Mumbai goes under the sea, the $2 trillion worth of Mumbai is going to go down the drain. I mean, We spend so much money every year on cities, and that city that you are investing and investing and investing, even builders, somewhere they have to understand that you're investing in something which will maybe underwater, and then what's the point if you're just promoting the cause by not looking or faking a OC or whatever. You have to really you have to think of long term now. 2050 is not that far away, and that's the scientists all over the world, NASA, the government, their reports. You just Google Mumbai, and we are number 2 city at risk in the world after Kolkata. That's a big thing for us and for builders also.
Yes, people have even spoken about the dangers of earthquake in Mumbai.
Yeah.
A large number of people would simply die. You didn't complete your thing about your products available for real estate and infrastructure.
Right. So we offer a lot of projects like this. We do 5 types of greens for societies. We do like LED, for example. LEDs are cheaper today than CFLs, right? And incandescent bulbs. Like I just wanted to have. If you just look at this, you can save 88%. Of your electricity common passageway. So I made some figures where you're saving 88%. So even for a builder, it doesn't make sense to put incandescent bulb, because you have to think that if so a normal, let's say a 10-floor story with 4 flats, my common electricity bill will be for lighting will be, let's say, 5,000 a month. And with the LED, you're saving so much of that. It just makes sense to do it, because your maintenance cost is coming down by that much, and that is what will attract your homeowners tomorrow. Low maintenance cost. So if you are known as a builder who makes sure that the maintenance cost of a homeowner is lower, they're going to come to you. And then so we have LEDs. Then we have solar. So today for solar also the return ROI has come down. It's come down from earlier 5-6 years to 3 to 4 years now. And for a homeowner, if you tell me that my electricity bill from day 1 is going to be 0, my common electricity bill, then that makes sense to me. So like I'd given one example, let's say 10-story flat, 28 flats, it's 4.5 lakhs. But in 4.5 lakhs, you're giving a homeowner 20 years of free electricity for your common lighting. And there's so many new products also. Then we have biodegradable garbage bags. So today we have this rat control. If whether you put your waste management in place or not, at least when you put it in a plastic. Today single-use plastic is banned almost all over the world. They're banning every day. A new state is banning single-use plastic. Our oceans this is not just our planet. So even if you use biodegradable plastic bags, it makes a lot of sense, and they're available today, at least with us. So that's one of our products. So these are the products that we have. Rainwater harvesting is a very important thing. Today, the flat where I stay at Bridge Candy, and we are paying almost 50,000 to a lakh every month on tankers. Now, we don't even have a simple borewell in place, a tube well or borewell. So, you have to recharge, even a city like Mumbai, you have to recharge your groundwater. Of course, it's compulsory now for builders, but it depends what you do and how you do it. So, you're allowed to dig in, let's say, 200 feet, and many buildings want to just refill the rainwater when you can. Because today if you look at lakes, Mumbai is at the lowest. We're still waiting for monsoons, and our lakes are like at the lowest they've ever been for the last 3 years. So you can't, in a city like Mumbai with a number of buildings like Mumbai, you can't anymore just ignore the water situation. The wars in the future are going to be over water.
True.
Right?
True.
So we have to make sure as a builder that we are offering this borewell, and of course it's compulsory, but that is what we offer to do.
Ms. Manasha, why is that developers don't advertise their green aspects as much as it is required to, in various advertisements or various promotions that they have for their projects?
So
is it because the home buyers are very reserved about it, or is it because of some other reason? What is the situation?
So one is the home buyers haven't really been, there's no movement to ask for this. Though it's growing now because
Okay.
with the more activism, more awareness about the planet, about climate change, homeowners want to see this aspect, and also it makes sense. And in the past, green, the idea has come that green means more expensive, but not necessarily anymore. Even for builders, if you need something to sell to your homeowners, and green makes sense because it gives you lower maintenance costs in the long run, and that. So if I'm looking for a house and the maintenance cost is 20,000 a month versus 40,000 a month, which one do you think I'd go for? And green solutions do offer lower maintenance costs, so that makes more sense. And I feel more and more people, even builders, are going and advertising this low maintenance cost greener buildings, and that is attracting homeowners much more.
What are the premium rates on green products these days? For instance, all your green products.
Sure.
What is the premium on it in relation to non-green products?
So the thing here, it isn't about premium or non-premium. What would you pay if Mumbai was not available as a city? Yeah, there is a cost to that as well. If you can no longer just say it's premium or non-premium, green or non-green. There is a price to climate change, and we are all paying it. 60,000 farmers have committed suicide just in Maharashtra in the last decade. 3 lakh farmers have committed suicide in India in the last decade. How long will citizens, builders, the community ignore climate change? Water is an issue today. So you can't just see it's a premium and non-premium. And if you see the costs are coming down, the more people and more builders go in for eco-friendly alternatives, sustainable alternatives, the more the price will come down even further. Already the ROIs are coming down. It's really almost affordable now, wind energy, solar energy. And if you see coal, Maharashtra or India is the biggest producer of coal, and yet we're not enough. We're still importing coal. So why not use the sun, which is in abundance? And where, 4.5 lakhs for a building, and you have free electricity for the next 20 years. You're recovering your cost in 3 years. LED you're recovering in 1 month. Waste management, it's just something you have to do. It's compulsory now. Rainwater harvesting, what do you do without water? 50 to 1 lakh you're saving your tanker money. So it just makes sense financially, environmentally, and is really not an option anymore.
There was this architect who once told me that the problem with developers not advertising green products is because for them setting up a project and selling it is most important, because after it's sold and once it is handed over to the society, it's no more their baby. So if your payback period, or even if the payback period is longer, for instance 2 years or 3 years, by that time they are out of the deal. So it doesn't make sense to them to invest more, because of the green products would be costing more. So that's one of the
Yeah, but look at the real estate market today. Look, it's down, right? Flats are available, they're not selling, right? There's an abundance, and
Absolutely.
the money is an issue. So what are you going to do with the low cost if you can't sell your flat? And what will make you stand out? It is low maintenance. Homeowners are not dumb anymore. They really know what is maintenance cost. They really understand they just don't want to take a flat. If they're investing, a flat in Bombay is expensive.
Very true.
Very few people can afford to either rent or to live and buy a flat today. And if they're going to do that, they're going to look at all aspects of it. So, what has the builder done to make sure that their maintenance costs, like I have 2 children, I want to give them a flat where their maintenance costs, so they don't have the burden of a high maintenance cost. It's important for me and important for most parents who would invest in a flat tomorrow. So the builder has to keep in mind these, whether it's not just selling a flat anymore. It is about maintenance. It is about long-term sustainability. You have to keep all of these aspects in mind now.
Very true, Ms. Manasha. Now, my next question would be, how should housing societies prepare themselves for composting and waste management and wastewater treatment? Because you have all those products.
Yes. So if you're a new builder, you have to at the planning stage itself involve people like us, because you need some space for waste management for the OWC. You need for rainwater, you need to dig down. You need to have a bore well which is underground. So you have to have all of this in the beginning stage itself. So you have to, if you're a builder, you have to plan at the design stage itself. But if you do it at the design stage, there's so many green aspects that you can do, not just these 5. Even there's so many, like insulation. I mean, there people are now insulating with old jeans and plastic bottles, and they're treating the normal insulation that they use is lets out harmful chemicals. But there's so much available in green today that builders really need to look at it. And if you're already, already an old building, a old housing society, like for example Samudra Mahal at Worli, they consider themselves green. They're going for wastewater management, they're going for waste pickup. We offer for old societies waste pickup for 200 to 300 rupees per month per flat. We pick up the waste, we compost it at our end. We make sure that the paper, metal, plastic, glass, everything is recycled. Even we're an e-waste distributor, so even laptops, CDs, batteries, this is important for citizens, for chairmen, for societies, so they can.
What has been the response of the housing societies to your proposals?
Very good. So they stagger it out. They're not possible to do everything because they're high capital cost relatively. So they take on, but they see the return on investment and they're very happy to go
For
ahead
instance,
with
solar would be costing a lot, but then it's all about free power supply.
Sure.
Isn't it? For the entire common areas.
So in solar, what is happening now, you get maintenance free batteries also, and also you don't need batteries. Now there is something new that way you can use the grid as your battery. So you are just generating, you're using solar power during the day, you're storing it in the grid at night, and you're using it at night. So it lowers the cost. So it's not that expensive anymore, really. Society should really look at this option of solar, LED, wastewater management. Least you can do is biodegradable plastic bags. There's so much you can do.
And how about large projects of real estate, especially private townships, where this is even more feasible? Standalone buildings may not have the space nor probably the financial strength to do these things, but large townships do have. So how does it work with them?
Yes, really. I mean, I feel.
I guess for instance, Magarpatta in Pune has got a power plant inside. It's a small one, but still, it's used for captive power.
Yes.
So
there is so much that is possible. Biogas is possible, and when you plan, the problem is, look at how Bombay has grown. It's haphazard, the growth of the city. Right now, it's like there's no planning. But if you're coming out to the new township, you can make it such that you can make sure that the roads, the way they're planned, the power, the way it is consumed. Coal is not the solution for the future. We are burning 1 million tons of coal the fossil fuels. That is really not. We have sun 10 months of the year. Why not use it? We have wind power. We have wind at higher levels. You can plan the city in such a way that your waste management is compulsory. In the whole, you can use the waste to generate electricity. The heat from the waste generated can be used to, fuel homes, biogas. So much is possible if you just plan. Even if you look on the internet, you'll find 12 eco-friendly ways of planning a city. And people are doing it, like you mentioned. So there's, like in Indore, I know they've completely emptied the landfill and made it a garden. Wow. You can do it. There are these technologies available.
Indore is probably India's first
number one city
for waste management.
And they're leading the show. In Mumbai, I'm a Mumbai. Where are we? We're nowhere. Where are builders? Where is the uniqueness and the innovation in our city? Nothing. I don't see anything. I look at Indore and I feel a little sadness. Like, we are the economic capital. We have the money to do it, but where is our creativeness? It's like there's so much we can do in the city. You can do vertical gardens. You can do vegetables. You can grow vegetables on terraces. So much we can do as a city, but it's not happening.
It's simply not happening. Now, can you also tell us about things like the advantages which developers and architects may not be aware of or even the housing societies may not be aware of from green products? If I can ask you the three major advantages that they may not be aware of.
So obviously, a lot of societies are not doing rainwater harvesting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They are like my building, Breach Candy, prime location. We're spending 50,000 to 1 lakh on tanker water
Every month.
every month. That is ridiculous. When you can simply collect rainwater and recharge, you have to recharge the groundwater. We are simply pulling out water from the lakes from everywhere, but we're not refilling our groundwater or our lakes. That is just ridiculous. I mean, any building can do this today. It hardly costs 80,000 to 90,000 to dig a borewell down to the groundwater, to reach the groundwater. You collect your rainwater from the terrace and you put it down. And what happens when you do that? And then there's a system, if you want a pump, it costs another 30,000 more to withdraw money from the your borewell. And what happens is, today if I put it, you won't get the results in 1 year. So in 1 year, instead if the water dries up on Jan 1st, it will dry up on 15-20 days after that. After 2 years, 1 month. After 3 years, in 5 years, you won't have your water drying up. Now, isn't that a necessity today? It's not a luxury, it's just a necessity. We need water to survive. So
Absolutely.
they need to do this. They need to do LED. Simplest thing. A building will hardly cost 8,000 to 10,000 to get your bulbs changed to LED. It's so simple, and yet you see incandescent bulbs everywhere. And even CFL, people think CFL, but no, LEDs are cheaper than CFL. So why not do it in your homes, in your buildings, in your common areas? Waste management. You know what they say? I don't want the smell. I don't want my garbage to smell. But we do it. We pick it up. We pick it up from you. So why not give it to us? It's 6 or 7 rupees a day. That's all. It's a cup of a chai or a coffee that you're paying. And in this...
Not even that.
Exactly. Today a chai, coffee in Taj Mahal costs 100, 200 bucks.
Even in a Udupi restaurant, it will cost 20 rupees.
Exactly. So wouldn't you want your city to survive? As a Mumbaiker, I don't want my children to be... I would love my children to stay in this beautiful city. I love Mumbai. I love the skyline of Mumbai. But so all we're asking is pay 6 to 7 bucks a day to get your waste composted. We're giving it to farmers. The wet waste can be composted and given to farmers. The dry waste is metal, paper, plastic, glass. Inert waste is made into burnt to make cheaper fuel under controlled conditions. Your sanitary napkins and your diapers are incinerated under controlled conditions so that there's no harm to the planet. 0% goes to the landfill. That is the need of the hour. So just a society has to pay 200 to 300 rupees per month per flat, and that is what we are promoting, through our all the things for our green societies. So LED, waste management, solar, rainwater harvesting, these are the things. Biodegradable plastic, garbage bags. Please, if nothing else, society should do these.
My last question would be about what would be your advice to developers and architects when it comes to inculcating or even installing products which are available in the market today, in terms of making it green and making the city more livable?
So my advice would be, re-look at green. Look at these solutions again. Don't dismiss it. Costs have come down. It just makes a good selling point for you. It's environmentally
especially with the young generation of home buyers.
Yes, today a home buyer, if you say, listen, I have solar, I have LED lighting, I have rainwater harvesting, I have my waste management, all 0% of my waste is going into the landfill, that would definitely excite someone like me, my children.
For one reason, that they're paying their hard-earned money in EMIs, because most of them are over-leveraged. The salary might be 1 lakh, but then their 60% of it might be going in a home loan, right? So if your maintenance cost comes down because of green products, it makes a big difference. If your maintenance cost is about 15,000 rupees per month, it might come down to about 9 to 10,000 rupees.
Exactly. So re-look at this option, because it makes sense. It makes sense economically, even for a builder. What's the point of going for an incandescent bulb and going cheap when you can't sell it in the end? There's so many flats half built, the money is stuck. Why? Because people are smart now. They want low maintenance costs, and that is a good selling point for any builder today.
Absolutely.
Right? We're smart. We know we don't want, and that, okay, one is location. Where do I want to stay? But more and more people are not looking at the location. People are looking at maintenance costs as a homeowner, because I don't want to give my children high maintenance costs for the future. Who knows what they will do, what they'll grow up with, what kind of future they'll have, whether they'll be able to pay 20,000-40,000 a month for flats. So I want a low maintenance flat. So that is something, relook at it, because if you do these basic things, your long-term maintenance cost for a homeowner comes down, and that is important for a homeowner today.
Relook at projects to make it more green.
Yes.
That's your advice. Thank you
That's
so
my
much for
advice.
being with us.
Thank you.